Hello, welcome to game 6, I believe, against Pico Paco here. So this kingdom, we have no plus buy. We have some draw in Sheepdog. There's draw in the townsfolk pile as well, caravan draws. You have trashing in Steward, you have trashing in Count. Critically, you have no plus buy. You have no plus buy. Count is the only thing that gains, and it gains just what? Coppers and duchies. Duchy is important. The duchy gain is important, potentially. But it's not like you could gain lots of caravans or whatever, right? You're restricted to just gaining duchies. These no buy games, you have to um, make good use of the buys that you do get because you're not gonna have an opportunity to catch up later if you buy poorly, right? So my idea looking at the kingdom is double steward open. Why? Because if it works out and the stewards don't collide, I get to trash very quickly, which I think is critical here on this board as well. And not only will I trash quickly, I have good 2 costs to pick up. I could gain native villages, I could gain the town crier as well. If it doesn't work out, I could probably get a count. No, sorry. If it doesn't work out, I just trash 2 and then I get something like a minstrel or a caravan that might set me up for a count later on. Right? So I think is a win-win on the double steward thing here. Like terminal collision, who cares? You have to think a little bit broader, I feel. Um Pico Paco gets a nice 2-5 here. They get the count of the rip here and they pair it with the town crier. I trash 2 estates and get a town crier. That's a tremendous turn 3 for me. Stewards do not collide. Steward trashes 2 estates and we buy the town crier. So we don't lose access to that pile. Okay, so Pico Paco plays their town crier for money here to get a caravan. I thought maybe they would have drawn there to look for the count, but I guess not. I trash again and I pick up a native village. So now that the deck is thinner, the native village will help avoid the terminal collision that is more likely from the double steward. Count comes out for Pico Paco. Big trash for them. They trash 4, but you know what? Double steward trashing 4 too. Way up there. We're still keeping up with them. I set aside a steward with a native village here. I set aside deliberately to trigger a shuffle. I know there are 2 stewards in there, so I want to trigger the shuffle to give me a chance at pairing a native village. Buy a second one here with those collided stewards, with those pair of stewards. Works out. I do find a native village with this steward here. Town Crier for money again gets Pico Paco a second caravan. I'm going to draw with this Town Crier. I thought about rotating because the Royal Blacksmith, the next card below there, draws like a watchtower, which works well with the native village, but I decided to continue along with the plan of trashing. So I set aside again with the native village, trash 2 more with the steward, and I pick up a poorhouse. Yeah, I pick up a poorhouse. Maybe I pick up 1 more poorhouse is my thought, and just use those for provinces. Count comes out, trashes 4 more. So okay, they're ahead now. I think I've trashed 6, they've trashed 8. I miss both my native villages. They are at the top of the deck. That's a little unfortunate. 4 here. This could be minstrel, but I think the caravan is better. I don't think I need the actions right now. Or I may not even need the actions at all. Caravan for draw seems better than minstrel for actions at this point. Okay, so Pico Paco has the deck in hand. Count comes out again. Top decks are card, and I think they go for a gold at this point. So they've trashed enough. They are saying they want to build up some economy at this point. So they go for the gold. Native village. I pull a native village and a steward off the mat. I'm going to draw with 1 steward. And then I'm going to trash with the other one. Poorhouse now because I know the top card is a copper, so I get a little bit more money from the poorhouse. I don't think it really influences my buy here. I trash 2 coppers here instead of copper estate because of the poorhouse. No other reason for that. So that the poorhouse could give me more money. I don't think it matters which order I did that in there, and a third native village for me now. Okay, so Pico Paco with the gold and the count and the pair of caravans gets a bank here. I thought maybe the second goal is better than the bank. The bank is fine too. I set aside with the native village and I set aside again. I pick everything up. So I'm able to draw my deck now with the native villages, which is nice. I trash everything, all the starting cards from my deck now. And the combination of Poorhouse, Steward, and Town Crier. I didn't plan this at the beginning of the game. This is just how the buys worked out. I bought the things that I thought were most useful for my deck at the time. Yeah, the combination of these three cards gets me to 8, and I don't see a point in doing much more than that. Well, okay, the count is the only thing you consider buying there, I think. If not province, is probably count, and then you would need one more village. So I don't know. I decided to just forget the count and try and pressure Pico Paco with the provinces here, because they are not yet in a position to buy province. They trash even with their count on this turn, so no province for them, and I am going to be able to get province of my own here. Well, not of my own, a second province for me here with the Poorhouse Steward Town Crier combination. I've never seen that combination of cards come together for province before. Alright, so now Pico Paco I think starts on the provinces. Here's the gold, here's the bank, which is functionally a gold. They get their first province. So we're in the end game now. My deck is still thin enough to reliably get to province again here. That will fall apart soon, I know, but I'm hoping to get to squeeze 4 provinces out of it and put Pico Paco in an uncomfortable position with respect to going after the penultimate province. Hoping for that. So they get province number 2 for them here. I need to see native village. This is garbage. This is a terrible draw. I do not get money for duchy. I don't see any of my native villages. I can't do anything there except buy a second Poorhouse. I think that's the best thing I could put in the deck right now. I really wanted to get some kind of points there, so maybe I could have bought an estate, but I think it's too early for the estate. Reasonably there, I should have been able to buy a duchy at minimum. I knew the deck would break, but jeez, that was the deck disintegrated there. It didn't just break. Alright, so in other words, that's good news for Pico Paco because they get to province number 3 without, you know, having to think about penultimate province rules or anything like that. So we are tied now, but this is a much worse position for me, I feel, because they have the count, because Pico Paco has the count. The count will gain them the duchies, and I think they have, I'm not even sure about this, right? For treasure, they have count, gold, bank. For treasure, I have a couple of poorhouses and some stewards, so maybe the treasure count or the coin count is reasonable at this point. I set aside a lot of cards here with the native village because I don't need the money. I'm not buying the penultimate province. I cannot, there's no way I offer them a draw because they could gain duchy by province and I lose. So go figure. Can't do anything there. Just have to buy duchies and wait for their deck to break now. I have to buy points here. I can't get around that. I could think about buying count there to gain the duchies, but I think that's a little too slow. So I just buy the duchy. They gain duchy, buy duchy. See what I mean when I say it's bad? It's a bad position for me. Very bad position for me. So I pick up with the native village. So what I'm trying to do here with the native village is manage my resources. I don't need the whole deck. I don't need to hit 8. I just need to hit 5. So if I could store away resources on the native village mat, I could use them for a later turn, right? So I'm just trying to keep in my hand what I need to pick up duchy and save the rest for next turn with the native village. So that's why that'll explain my choice of when I set aside or when I don't set aside. Here I draw through till the end of the deck because there was garbage left in the deck there, so I just wanted to clear out that garbage, give myself a nice clean shuffle. I didn't really want to hit 8 here, so I pick up Duchy. Maybe they missed the count, you know, they have 3 provinces, 2 duchies in their deck as well, so they will start to gum up soon. Do they gum up here? I think they do actually. They missed the count here. And even I think they missed money for duchy. Big yikes, but buying the estate is sufficient in that position, so not the end of the world for them there. Set aside the native village. Again, I'm going to make an effort to draw through because all my good cards are at the top of the shuffle. I would like to get them back in the shuffle as soon as possible. Duchy for me gives me a 2-point lead. Here's the count. Now we didn't see last turn. Obviously going to gain a duchy and going to buy another duchy. So fortunately, for me, we split the duchies 4-4. Right? Fortunately, we split the duchies 4-4 despite them having a count. So I have 3 provinces, 80. Yeah, we split the duchies 4-4. The one estate that they bought that turn gives them the lead here. So what they can do, buy the province. I can't threaten anything at this point because they have that estate lead. So it comes down to if they could buy the province or not. 2 cards in from the caravan. Here's the Town Crier. Just gains silver, so they have to have it in hand already, but they don't. They don't, and they just choose to gain a gold in this position. So they're shaping up to buy the penultimate province here. So what I have to do in this endgame is gain points as much as possible. Here I am going to just stop. I could draw into a green card and then not even be able to buy the estate, but the estate at least makes it trickier for Pico Paco to buy that penultimate province, right? It makes it a little less straightforward for them. There are no duchies to gain from the count, so if they gain it, they will be, oh, well, never mind. They're second player, so I was going to say they would be offering me a tie, but while we would tie on points, I would lose on first player. So maybe I should have drawn on there because the estate wasn't helpful enough. Fairgrounds, on the other hand, was much more helpful in that position, but I wasn't drawing into anything there that would help me buy a fairground, so whatever, I stand by my play. Okay, 8, they could buy the province comfortably here, and they do take it very good. I just have to hope to get fairgrounds now and then get province on the next turn while they do absolutely nothing. Doesn't seem very likely, but that is the only line that we have. We get to the fairgrounds. It's only worth 2 points, but that's all it needs to be worth, I think. Doesn't need to be worth a whole heap of points. I am currently at 9 uniques, so if I buy one more thing, like a minstrel, for instance, would be worth a point right now. Or would be worth 2 points, actually. So I do have that in my mind. I don't need to buy fairgrounds for 2 points at this stage. I can buy a minstrel, and that'll be worth 2 points in this position. Okay, so here, apparently they top decked a duchy last turn, Pico Paco, and they were not able to buy any points whatsoever, and I fortunately have a good hand, but is it good enough? Yeah, because the poor horse was on the mat. We get to the province and we take game 6. I felt like I was behind for most of that game, but somehow we came through at the end. We take this match 4.5 to 1.5. So we have 1 match left. If we do well in that, we should finish near the top of the table. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.